What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In today's video we officially have an S14 update. For anyone who doesn't know or who didn't see the last video, my younger brother went out and bought this abandoned S14. If you want to see the whole story on how it was found and how we came across it, definitely check out the last video. I will pin it in the description below, or maybe it'll pop up on the screen if I can figure out how to do that. In today's video I'm going to go over a whole bunch of things because behind the scenes there has been some hard work going on with this car. Not me myself, but my father and Jayden have been really hard at work, definitely keeping themselves busy. For the past hour or two, while I've been doing some other things, in my head I've just been thinking over and over, how am I going to film this video and lay it out? Because both Dad and Jayden have just airdropped me a whole bunch of clips that I've filmed on my phone, which is great because I want to be able to show the process to you guys on what's being done. But it also makes it hard for me because now I'm standing here thinking, how am I going to lay this out and turn this into a video? Now, it would be great if I was there all the time filming what they were doing and having them explain what they were doing, but it's hard because I've got other things that I've got to do. I can't always be there filming, so I've just got them to film a whole bunch of clips on their phone, and today we're going to go through and explain what they've done, why they've done it, and so on and so forth. Now, both Jayden and Dad aren't here to help me out, so if I do explain something wrong, I will correct it in the edit and let you guys know. But I'm going to do my best right now to go over the car and explain what has been changed and updated. And so as we come closer to the car, the first thing you will notice, if you can see it there, is it has different coloured door handles. So let's start with that. As we come a bit closer, you can see that is not black. That is a completely different coloured door handle. Now let me explain why. As we come over here to my wee workbench on the boot, we have both original door handles. Now we'll start with the passenger side one, as that is the one we are talking about. So the actual mechanism of it is completely fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It works great. But as we come over to where the barrel of the lock sits to actually unlock and lock the car, you'll notice here it's actually broken. There's meant to be like a taller wall here and it's just completely snapped off. Now we've got the driver's side one here to actually compare, which is great. So as you can see there, it is a lot taller. It's a taller wall and there is not. So because that is snapped off, it can't actually hold the lock barrel in there. It just falls out. So that needed either fixing or replacing. Now I'm not 100% sure how you would really fix that. That would be kind of a pain to build that up. So obviously Jayden has just decided to replace them. Now why has he replaced both sides, you ask? The driver's side is actually perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with it whatsoever. But Jayden managed to snap the little clip that holds, I don't know what you call it, but like the rod to open the door, the little like the wire mechanism. If you know doors, you'll know what I'm talking about. Unfortunately, I don't know the right term for it. But this little green tab that holds it, he snapped that off. Now, realistically, that's not a huge problem because you can just buy a new one and put it in there. But let's be honest, how often are you going to find an S14 door handle for sale on its own? Probably not often. I mean, I haven't looked. I could be wrong. Maybe people are selling them separately. But you'd most likely be wanting to buy them in sets. So that is what he did, and he managed to get a really good deal for those. So that is why they have been replaced. So there you go, brand new, well not brand new second hand door handles, and also locks as well. That's actually just reminded me, I forgot to talk about the locks. So he's actually got new locks as well. It was his birthday recently, and a whole bunch of us actually chipped in and got him a bunch of parts for the car, which I will explain more soon on more things that we got. But one of them was new locks, and my sister actually bought them for him, which was awesome. So he's got both new locks on both sides. I explained that really weird. He's got new locks on both sides. So there you go, new handle, new locks. On to the next. And while we're on the topic of the outside of the car, let's talk about the brakes. All 4 brake calipers and rotors have been refurbished, although it does not look like it because they have gone rusty once again. He has sanded down and freshly painted the calipers a nice red. They are a wee bit dirty at the moment, but they look beautiful. And then they also went ahead and what's the term for it, like ground down the rotors? The brake rotors were machined on a brake lathe to clean them up for reuse, as being shown here. So freshly new brakes and rotors, which is awesome. Nothing more to it. On to the next thing. We'll head back to the door now, and we're actually going to go inside the interior. But we're going to open it up slowly. Oh, we don't want to leak the interior just yet. I'm excited to show you, but we're going to head over to the door and we'll talk about the speakers. So he's got brand new Pioneer speakers, 4 speakers. They got one on each door, and then he's got 2 new ones in the back as well, and new speakers in the rear. Now that we're on the topic of interior items, I think it's a good time to now move on into the interior and show off what both Dad and Jayton have been working really hard on. Before we do that, Jayton and I are going to go ahead and install the new carpet. Okay, close the door. Hopefully you can hear me over the vacuuming, but I've just been informed to come outside because the interior is now ready to be put back in the Silvia. I'm just going to turn that off so I can talk. Here's the current state of the interior. It's been fully stripped, everything is out. Now if you watched the last vlog on picking the car up, you'll remember that the dash, the whole top of the dash, was really badly cracked. So he wanted to start stripping the interior to 1, get that out, but also 2, the carpet. Now the carpet on the driver's side had actually worn through to the floor. You can see the worn out patch right there actually. So the patch there is where the carpet had actually worn through just from wear and tear of use of the car. Now because of the hole in the carpet, they thought it'd be a good idea to strip the entire interior out, start assessing the damage on the carpet and the dash to whether it would be better off replacing it or repairing it. So yeah, there you go. That is a wee update. Jayton is about to go ahead and reinstall the carpet and the dash. So I decided to end up helping Jayton install the carpet just to make it that wee bit easier. So here we are installing the freshly refurbished carpet. Took us a wee bit of time just trying to figure out all the things we needed to get around, like the handbrake, and then there was a few wee wires and whatnot that we had to get it around, but eventually we got it in. That is job done for the carpet. Right, that is stage 1 complete. The carpet is in. It's actually looking really nice. You can't even tell that there was a wear through here. Looks really, really good. Next up, from what I've been told, is they're going to be doing all the aircon boxes. So let's get on to that. So it looks like the motor for the aircon is full of crap, leaves and whatnot.
Yes, all that crap in there is what causes the motor to burn out.
Right.
It's leaves, it's going to catch on fire. How is it not going to catch on fire? It's a bit dirty in there. So now we should be able to knock that out. There we go.
Whoa, that is dirty.
There we go.
Currently I've been doing some editing on another video, so I've been back and forth from my room to out here, checking on what's been happening, and I'm actually just going to leave the camera out here with Jayton and Dad to film some things, because I'm going to go focus on finishing that video. So enjoy the footage that they film. They'll probably just set you up on a tripod.
So we've got the blower motor apart, and we're just going to lube that. We've cleaned this up, we're going to lube that, and then we'll put it all back together.
Thanks for that explanation, Dad. Just to clarify on what he is saying, the wee motor for the air conditioning is all clean now, so he's ready to put it back together. But just before he puts it back together, he's going to give it all a wee spray with some lubricant spray, just to make sure any of those moving parts are moving smoothly. Now that the motor is back together, Dad is continuing on and putting it into its plastic housing which bolts to the car. And now that that's back together, he's just greasing up a bunch of the moving parts, just making sure none of it sticks. And he's using a flathead screwdriver. Interesting choice. But that's not all. Now that the units are back together, Jayton is going to go ahead and install them back into the car. And that is job done. Doesn't that just look good? New fresh carpet. Ooh! Doesn't just look good, but also feels amazing. Now we are fast forwarding very far ahead, as there is a lot more to the interior now than just before. We're going to start off with the dash because it is the biggest piece of the puzzle, and I've got quite a funny story to explain about this. Now as we step out of the car and look to our left, we have two more dashes laying here on the ground. Now I know you'll be wondering, what the heck? Why do you have 3 S14 dashes? Well, if you'd seen in the last video, you'll know this car sat for a very long time and the dash wasn't in the greatest condition. This is the original dash here. Now if we come around and look at the top, you can see straight away it is very, very badly cracked. Like, these are pretty deep cracks, and it doesn't stop. Like, it keeps going down the entire way of the dash. So in our eyes, it was not worth fixing. You probably could fix it, but wasn't worth it to us. And at this time, we were getting close to it being Jayton's birthday. So what I wanted to do was get him something that he needed for the car. So I headed over to Instagram, first off blocked Jayton, and then I put up a wee story asking for some help, seeing if anyone had either of those 3 items that I could purchase. After some time, unfortunately, I hadn't had any luck. I wasn't getting any replies. No one had anything that I needed. Until Matt had replied, and he said, I've got a few items. And now one of them is a dash. And he got me very intrigued. That was this dash here. It was meant to be the original dash that I was going to get Jayton for his birthday. Seeing some photos that Matt had sent me, I knew it wasn't in the greatest condition. As you can see, it has cracked, and it has actually been repaired. Like, the cracks have been filled. It's not the greatest, but they have been filled. So you could cover it, or flock it, or I don't know what else you can do to a dash, but it was in better condition than his original one. So I was happy with that. And I hadn't had any other luck with anyone else. So it was sort of all I had. So I said to him, I said, how much do you want for it? And he's like, no, you can have it. I was like, no, there's no way. I can't take this, because items for a Silvia, I wouldn't say they're rare, but they're not very common. So I had to give him something. Eventually, we had come to an agreement. I would do a photo shoot on his new car, and he would give me that dash for free. At the time, he was selling his Silvia. He's now got a new car, which is a Laurel, which is beautiful, by the way. But that is how we got the dash. So we got that dash, and that was the original dash that was going to be put in the car for him. I had that for weeks, and I hid it from him for weeks. It was sitting in my room. He was not allowed in my room. And then came the day before his birthday. Dad had sent me a listing for an S14 dash that had come up that was a lot nicer than mine. It was basically mint condition. So Dad and I decided to go halves in it and get it for his birthday. And that is this dash here. As you can see, no cracks whatsoever. She's basically in near to mint condition. I think the only thing from memory is this little scratch right there. You can see that? I feel like that is the only imperfection with it, apart from some, like, you can see sort of the discoloring. But other than that, there are no cracks, no dents, nothing. It is perfect. So this dash ended up replacing that dash that I'd spent weeks hiding from Jayton. I'm not mad. I'm not upset. It's fine. Nah, I'm joking. At the end of the day, I'm super happy that we were able to find one that was in such good condition. You want to have the interior looking as nice as you can, and I'm glad that we were able to do that for Jayton. So that is the wee story on the dash, and that is why we now have 2 extra dashes. Right, let's jump on to something else in the interior. The next thing we're going to talk about is going to be the gear shifter. So originally when we bought this car, you could easily just pull the gear shifter out. And now the reasoning for that is because it's actually not a stock shifter, it's a short shifter. Now the short shifter wasn't the problem as to why it wasn't staying in the gearbox. Well, kinda. So with a short shifter, they actually sit a wee bit higher than a stock gear shifter does. So in order to hold them in place, they have what is called a top plate, which screws into the top of the gearbox. Now when we bought this car, it didn't come with that top plate. It actually didn't even have that top plate throughout its entire life with the previous owner either. So it's just never had one. And because of that, you could easily just pick the gear shifter out of the gearbox, and that was that. It's all fixed now. So we now have the plate, but it now shifts perfectly. And you can't pull it out. There's no way you're pulling that out. But that's not all. You also notice there was actually a brand new shift knob. Now Mum and Dad also got that for Jayden for his birthday. Nice wee shift knob. Beautiful, goes along with the rest of the interior. And also the boot, the shift boot. Dad actually made this himself for Jayden. He made this the other night and did his own stitching. So you'll see there, he's done some teal stitching. And that is to go along with the colour of the car that Jayden has chosen. Now I won't say anything about the colour just yet because I feel like we'll keep it a surprise just for now. But that is a wee sneak peek on how it's going to match. Now I reckon we move on to this plastic piece since it is right next to the gear shifter. So once again, when Jayden originally bought the car, it didn't have this plastic surround piece which goes around the head unit. It just wasn't there, the guy didn't have it. So after a quick Google search online, Jayden ended up finding one on Trade Me, which was awesome. There's a guy up north which actually sells them brand new, so he ordered one. But there's actually a funny story with that plastic piece. We found out there's actually two different models of that plastic piece. As most of you will know, you've got your pre-facelift and your facelift models. Apparently that actually carries into the plastic as well, which we didn't know. So the original listing that this guy had made was a facelift model plastic surround, but then in the image he had on the listing, it was the pre-facelift one. So when Jayden and Dad seen it, they're like, sweet, you know, facelift model, that's fine. The photo shows it's got texture on it, it's the exact same. But when the product actually arrived, it was very different. So in the pre-facelift models, the plastic is actually textured. Wait for that to focus. It's actually textured to sort of match the dash, and it also matches this piece, so it all matches into one. But with the facelift model, it's actually smooth, and it doesn't have any texture whatsoever. So we were very confused when we had received one that was smooth. We're like, what the heck? In the photo it showed it was textured, so what's going on here? Yeah, found out there's actually two different model pieces, a pre-facelift and a facelift. Thankfully enough, it was the guy's fault and not our fault. He had listed it as a facelift model, but had showed the pre-facelift model on the actual listing photo. So he was very nice and actually took back the original piece that we bought and swapped it out for a pre-facelift one. So there you go, that is the story on that. So now that is all looking beautiful and one piece. Now we're going to hop out of the passenger side and we're actually going to head around to the driver's side. Now we're going to talk about the gauge cluster. Originally in the car it had come with black dials, as you can see here, but Jayden wasn't really a huge fan of the black, so he wanted to swap it out for some really nice white dials. Thankfully enough, Dad actually had a spare white gauge cluster lying around, so it worked out quite well. So now Jayden and Dad are sitting down, as you can see, about to swap over the black to white. I'm curious what you guys think. Let me know down below. Do you prefer the black or do you prefer the white? And just like that, the cluster is now white. But not everything we have done is purely cosmetic. She also runs. Start it up! It literally just started. Oh, that's crack up. We tried this just before to warm it up and it started. Started like first try and now it's not. That was a fail. Hey! She starts. She runs. Look at that! Oh, that is awesome. This is actually my first time hearing it run in person. I was sent a video when Jason and Dad first got it running, but that's a video, you know, it's different to in person. So it's cool to actually see it now running in person.
She's running in second gear at the moment.
How cool is that? The Silvia is running. Even now watching this back, I cannot stop smiling. This is such a huge milestone for the car, and I'm just sitting here thinking I cannot wait to see it rolling under its own power. As you can see, not everything that has been done to the car has been cosmetic stuff. The engine has also had some work. Nothing crazy, just a full oil flush followed with a full oil and filter change. And then they've also gone ahead and cleaned out the injectors as well. And not to mention, a new pod filter. There we go. I wanted to end today's video off with a very special moment, and that is hearing her run. It's such a cool milestone to hear her run, because now we just know, you know, we're that little bit closer to getting her ready and road legal. But I want to say a massive thank you for watching today's video. I really hope you did enjoy. I had a lot of fun actually filming this and sharing with you all the updates on what has been happening, because I know it has been a little while since that first video of picking the car up. Let me know down below if you want to continue seeing more updates on the car, because I'd absolutely love to share more on the build. I think it's just really cool to sort of document the process. This camera is getting really heavy in my hand. I'm also holding the light that I used in the last video for the night photography. This thing is come in handy. Now I just need to find a way to mount it to my camera. For now, I'm just holding it. I've been holding it with the camera, so my hand is getting very... Not my hand, sorry. It's getting very, very heavy for my hand to hold. Anyways, without further ado, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers guys. Take care.